as usual, I have to put this in full screen. Yes. Reset week. Would you like to return to the beginning of the week? Does it reset any progress? Yes. Thank you very much. This is loading, right? Okay, I'm just going to wait until this loads, I think. I can see myself in the reflection of my computer screen. It's just dark. It's just black. The screen is black. Okay, so you probably already read the title. Today I actually want to talk about the panty thing. Not panty shots per se, but the panties themselves. It's more of a short, relaxed video. Oh, it's like, girl, chill. It's just your house. So today I wanted to actually see the panty thing. Why can I? Okay. I wanted to see the panties thing. I just think it would be an interesting video. I don't know why is it lagging so much. Why is it lagging so much? Wait, can I see my... No, I cannot see my settings here. I don't know why is it lagging so much. I just resetted the week. Actually, I don't know if you can search for the money before reading the thing here. Oh, you cannot. Okay. So you need to read the letter here, the postcard. So you read the postcard. So the idea is that I just want to overall read the panty descriptions, keep my perspective on the bonuses, and yeah, just that. It's a shorter video, but if you guys have seen my community post on the Discord, you'll probably know that I'm sick this week, so I'm speaking slightly softer until I feel better. I think I got the flu, so okay, I think I need to go to town. I'm not sure if this will be enough. I'm hoping it will be. I'm actually wondering if, like, there will be some other stuff added in the future for panties. Okay, I want to just buy all of this and I leave them at home. Okay. Panty Queen, of course. I think those are all we need. We have $10 left. I don't see why keep them. Okay. Wait, why? I just realized this. Why is set to the lowest and reset to default two different options, like two buttons? It's actually quite easy to program them to be the same button. It's actually quite easy. And it can even be done with else if statement. Because, like, for example, when you have a dialogue option that is just appearing the dialogue slowly, like think of Phoenix Wright, right? The dialogue is appearing slowly on screen, and if you tap the button to continue the conversation, the dialogue loads completely and it allows you to see the complete dialogue. And then you have to press the same button again to pass the text. I programmed that before. I have a video. My second video on the YouTube channel is a game I was programming from scratch, which was a Yandere Simulator x Phoenix Wright concept. But the point that I'm making is, even for me, I was like 16 at the time, right? So you can program this kinds of stuff to be set to the same button. Why are there two different buttons to set all of this to the lowest and highest? Why can I add the 1980s options here? Do they even affect? Why do I have this in a Janos timeline? Oh, you know what could have been interesting? It could have been interesting to have the manga actually. I want to see, like, all of them are buffs, right? So I want to see what buffs every manga gives you. For that, I think I have to work on the cafeteria. So I will try to also see what the manga's at. As like, again, because I gotta see the panties now. So I think you can buy it in the manga store, and you need... Oh wait, it does tell you some stuff. Sleep, enlightenment? I don't know what enlightenment is. Anyways, I'm going to see what I can buy at town at night. Why do I have an option for disabling the hair physics if the hair physics are never disabled? The manga shop is around here, right? Ow! The volume is so high. Okay, how do I get the ID, the fake ID? Do I need that from InfoChan actually? Please tell me I don't need it from InfoChan. I don't want to go to school. Okay, I think you don't need the fake ID from InfoChan. Please don't tell me how to do panty shots. Well, to be fair, it is something we're probably going to do in this video. It's a very short video, okay. You can work part-time jobs as a waitress at this Mary cafe to earn money. The amount of money you earn is dependent on the difficulty level you choose and also how quickly you serve your customers. Okay, enter the cafe. Oh, cute. Controls. You move with this. Okay. Back, interact. Okay. Yeah, seems good. Credits? No. Project lead, GameDev. Programmer, Jimmy. Fedora Dev. Oh, nice. Sprite art. Oh, nice. I'm going to go on medium because I always go on medium in this kind of stuff. I have never played this minigame, I have to admit. Okay, so it's I and B. Hello. Hi. What do you need? A sandwich, I think. Yes. Okay, so the time passes in this. Actually very good for like selecting this. You don't want this to be also movable at the same time. Wait. I chose this, but why can I... What?
I learned later in the minigame this is the part where you select the food in the table. The chef or the trash can. This is where the confusion part comes, while having everything in the right. May seem like the best option, in reality it's very weird to play. It feels off. A better way to explain it would be to show you an example of a similar game. This game is called Penguin Diner 2, released in July 2014. It was originally a Flash game that you can now download in your phone. I like this version a bit more than the first game, even when I played both. As you can see in the gameplay footage, the gameplay is very similar to how the cafe minigame plays in Yandere Simulator. It's a fully 2D game with no signs of 3D. I'd make an in-depth video of how they made it look 3D, but I want to use this as an example for what the minigame could have been. You take orders and you give them to the chef. Then you have to remember which penguin order what and deliver it to them. If you get confused, you can throw the food into the trash can in the middle right. That's about it. You only play with your mouse and your mind. The controls themselves are not the problem I have with the cafe minigame in Yandere Sim. My problem is, well, pretty much the same problem I have with the UI and the code. It's not well organized. I believe having the place where you give the orders to the chef be the same place. Where you take the made food and dispose of the food is quite oversaturated and it creates problems, such as not being able to move fast enough in a minigame that has a literal timer on top of the screen. As you can see, the game doesn't ask you to tell the chef what to cook. Instead, you have to go back and forward with an order. This is a deliberate game choice, since going back and forward will confuse the player on what they gave to the chef. This is, again, to play with your mind and reactions, which makes the game feel rewarding when you don't fall for the trap. It's also done so you can get an image to remember what was asked from which penguin. The trash can is in a very different play from the chef, so you can choose easily when you want to dispose of food you won't use. This avoids the problem of accidentally clicking on something that was too close to something else and makes the player feel like the miscalculation was on their own instead of an unfair game design choice. Having key game mechanics separated when they may ruin a run when clicked on accidentally is necessary to avoid frustration, which is something I feel like it wasn't thought out in the cafe minigame. This particularly makes me feel frustrated because the game could have worked with a few changes, such as having a small background where the characters could kinda move 3D, and have the chef be in a different position to the trash can and the food ordering. The game wouldn't even need new sprites, just a different organization so it doesn't feel cluttered. I felt like I needed to explain this with an example since in the recording I don't think I explain why I felt like the game was weird to play. Overall, the minigame wasn't bad, it was just weird. But you do get the hang of it eventually even if you have to put an extra effort to make it feel more natural. Let's go back to the video, shall we?
It's just a weird choice, I suppose. Oh, I think I get it. Okay. It's still a weird way to... I mean, it's a weird way to play a minigame like this. Like, I used to be a very big fan of this, like, penguin cafe minigame, and it was very similar to this, but this is just very... Okay, this is just very weirdly... It works very weirdly, that's what I'm saying.
By the way guys, we got channel memberships. You can check out the membership video in my channel.
It's nice. It just... I suppose you just need to learn it, but it doesn't feel like any minigame like this I've ever played before. It feels like the first time I actually attempted to code a minigame like this, where I didn't really know how to make it more accessible to all that stuff. I get it's 2D, but there were other ways to make a 2D game like this. Again, the Cafe Penguin minigame I played when I was a kid was a 2D game, and it was very good. It was very similar to this, actually. It's pretty, but when it comes to actual playability, it doesn't feel that way. I think it was this one. Time's up. Oh, 149. I wish real life was like that. Made cafe minigame. Sure, looks nice. Before I go to the penny thing, I want to have complete control over like the school and the manga stuff. So I think you can have the ID at school. I don't need anything, so I'm just going to go to school. Why is go to school the X? Like, it would be so much easier to have it as A, because A is like the go-to when you want to have this kind of user face for the Xbox controller. But A just toggles something. I think it's toggling something should be the optional, not the thing you go to first. But I suppose this is the intended way of gameplay, which it's weird to have a sandbox game that tells you so obviously how the developer wanted you to play it. I think that's what I'm feeling right now. Again, I'm sorry if my voice is very soft today. I'm sick. Okay, so how do I earn info points again? I know there's punish shots, but I don't know exactly how to get other ways of money. I think you can place bugs. I'm not sure where though. I wanted this to be like a 10-minute video, but I think it's going to be slightly longer than that. I don't really want to edit another hour video. How to earn info points? Yes, thank you very much. If you need help, I help you. Why is this so long? Need favors, make it simple points. If you need send, okay, I'll give you one. Oh, and if you send a picture of a girl's panties, I'll give you 5 points. 10 points if they're from the popular girls. I need eyes and ears. Love at school. I'll supply with 10 covered. Each place you earn 5 points. Each one belongs to a specific location. Physical access to a phone in order to install Spine software to it. Why do you need a physical phone to install Spine software in it? If you did it with my phone with no problem, did you just steal my phone at the beginning of the game? Okay, so the safest way without being gross to earn info points is to give InfoChan a phone. So I'll try to find the bugs. Wait, actually, how do I actually need drops? Mounty? What's this? Kyuji Kunogava has been following Osana Jamie around school, spying on her short amounts of time. This makes him seem like a creepy stalker. He had a photo of him stalking Osana. I could block him. Okay, 25. Okay, that's good. Have 0 info points. What do I need? Okay, I need fake ID 25. So I need to either the bounty or 2 phones, I think. Yeah, I think I will go for the phone thing. I refuse to go with the panty shot. I am so sorry, that's just gross. I remember if the tutorial is correct, right? You can go over here, right? You can get those out of order. Okay, see, this makes me upset. The idea of a game is that it slowly becomes harder over time, right? So why is the solution? Why the solution is having these parts like blocked off at the beginning of the game, when in reality it should be the other way around, right? That this door should be open, and at the end of the game they should be closed because Megami is like controlling everything and stuff. It doesn't make sense for them to be closed, and it doesn't even add that much to the game. It's just a room, and if anything, just makes the week artificially harder. And just have this. Oh, this is strangulation, I think. Okay, so why is strangulation so easy to get if it's one of the best ways to attack a rival? That's a serious question.
Hey, it's editing Sophie. I think I will use text-to-speech for these parts of the videos. Mostly for the people drawing while I talk. Yes, I know you are drawing while I talk. It's okay, you can keep drawing. I just wanted you to look at the screen for a cute video of my cat. Isn't he so silly?
Stethoscope. Again, why are like non-bloodless weapons so easy to get? I just walked around and found them. I didn't even know I could. Bandages.
At some point I stopped searching for the tripwire thing, so I went for the bug collection instead. So yes, more running around school at high speed, yay.
Hello.
Are you okay?
Why are you even looking at me? Why are you okay? Sorry, sir. I thought he would be with Osana, but looks like he's just walking around. I've never seen Senpai's new... Shut up. Okay, I've never seen Senpai walking around school like this. Huh, interesting. It'll be interesting to talk about Senpai's routine since I've never seen anyone talk about his new routine now that, you know, some time has passed. I don't think you can get anything new here. Oh, they have some stuff here. Oh, this is... Okay. So why is the other room closed? What does it have that this one doesn't have? No, but I do think I'm going to go for the info point strategy because that one's just not worth it. I didn't thought this would take some time, but it apparently is.
Do you guys want a Spanish joke? Before you hear it, you need to understand the context. In Spanish, you can say pa fuera to say go outside. And you can say pa dentro to say go inside. There was once a dog called Pa Fuera. His owner asked him to go inside because it was raining. So she said, Pa Fuera, Pa Dentro. And the dog exploded. Yes, my dad told me that joke. And yes, now I've hit you with a dad joke. You're welcome.
I'm just grabbing everything at this point. I don't think you have a limit for how many things you can have in your inventory, which, considering everything, is actually quite nice. I don't think really there's that much here. Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, nice. Are every rival from this class? I'm curious. Wait, I think there's something here. I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? This is the launch area. Why wouldn't it be here? Where are the bugs? I don't get... from all the hints you could get, I don't get any in this part, which would actually be a good place to have hints. Like, where are the bugs? Here?
Good job.
Okay, one more, guys, one more. Photography club. Ow, ow. That sounds very loudly. Do I have any setback?
Nice work.
Okay, I have 25. Oh, this is all we need. Oh, that took forever. Okay. You know, if you want to add a hint for the player, this would be the place. Since I feel like...
What do you need?
If you wanted anything, I would say this is like it. So now I can buy all the manga at night. And tomorrow I can finally do what I wanted to do for the video. Why did it took so long? Why does everything in this game took long? This game is more fun when you're not actively trying to do the objectives. I suppose it is a good way to say how the dev actually spends most of its time anyways. I'm going to go down and go back home. That's all I need to do. And now we can finally talk about the bonuses the game gives you. Mostly panty shots and manga. That's all I really want to see. Okay, so it is night. So now if we go to the town. Part-time job. Can I just go to the maid cafe? That's like a different thing. I actually want to know that, but before that I want to read the whole manga. Okay, go home. I actually want to see if this is the same as just going to the maid cafe, or maybe it's not. Wait, why do I have a part-time job in the town, but here I can just do whatever? What? What? Why do you have a part-time job in the town, but you have another one here that are completely separated? Why do you even have the other one in the first place? If you're gonna have a part-time job, either choose one, because now you have 3 ways of making money, which is like the moment the job makes sense. But why do you have another way to enter in a job when you already have one? You compare the amount of money in the school subjects you have invested. 30 points too. Numbness. You know what? Sure, why not? I'm going to work as a hospital janitor, I suppose. Go to work. Why is it not A? It's X, not A. A just makes more sense, I suppose. Okay, so now finally, we're here. So, let's go. Wait, why don't I have this one? I thought I had every panty shot. Wait, I thought I have every panty. Wait, no, to. Okay, I thought I had every panty, but it looks like I didn't. I will go to town. Maybe I'm missing one. Wait, did it go back? Why every time I go here it goes back to that when I made the settings to be something else? Does this game not save settings? I have every panty here. Where's the last panty I need? Wait, where's the last panty I need?
I had to look it up in Google. In other games such as Elden Ring, Minecraft, or Terraria, it wouldn't bother me so much. But I already feel disconnected from the experience by the game's current state. Having to literally get out of the game the same way the extra menu forces you to go to YouTube feels unnatural to the game's progression. I wonder what face had the FBI agent who looked at my Google history, lol.
I have to go to school to find that one? East Sen Garden, what the fuck? Do I have to go to school to get the last panty? Wait, I don't want to do that. I already went to school. And I just, oh my god, why did I thought this would be a fast video? I should have known nothing about this game is fast. You know what, sure, whatever. The East Sun Garden, I think you can find that one. Of all the things you could have found at school, why are panties one of the things you have to find at school? Wait, why did it give me the achievement if I didn't have every panty? I am so confused with this game's organization. I'm not even hating today. This wasn't the part I wanted to hate. I actually wanted to find some good parts about like the recollection and the money making and all that stuff. But I can't. It's not like there's none, but of all the things you could have chose to have in the lingerie store, why isn't that one of them?
Mi pregunto que tan raro se escucha el locuendo de habla inglesa hablando español de heco. ¿Cuántos hispanos viendo es video? Tengo curiosidad lol.
Okay, here they are. Why are they here? Who is this? There should have been an option to just skip school and not having to do this over and over again. Because it's just annoying. There's a lot of things that make this game annoying overall. And those are small fixes, the kind of fixes that Yandere can do quite fast. And I don't really understand why those are not addressed still. But so I want to see finally all the bonuses and other stuff I can do in this game. Okay, so we're going to read the manga. Or just see what the description. That's what I want to see, read the descriptions. I'm not going to go this because this is enlightenment, I think. So I'm just going to choose the other manga. Okay. I could have sworn this were different back in the day. I think they changed the images a bit. Okay, so Yandere Story Volume 1. Her story about a young woman whose mouth is stolen by an evil spirit. I think this is just Junji Ito references, I think. Less sanity lost when committing murder. A horror story about a young woman whose right eye is stolen by an evil spirit. Are all of this about evil spirits? A horror story about a young woman whose right arm is stolen by an evil spirit. Maybe it's just me, but I felt like I know these are supposed to make sense with one another, right? But I just don't. You could have more creative freedom with these mangas. They didn't need to relate to one another, but seems like you didn't want to. A horror story about a young woman whose heart is stolen by an evil spirit. A horror story about a young woman whose blood is stolen by an evil spirit. Sure. Everything is stolen by an evil spirit, I suppose. You could have had different things happening to this woman, but seems like I don't even know how this relates to Ayano in particular. It seems the descriptions are just here to fill in place, which just feels a little bit lazy, admittedly. You know, you could have related this to some extent to the rivals, right? About like giving hints at like their actual kind of murders. Even if it's a sandbox game, like Ryova has canon murders and how she killed them and all that stuff, but it seems like none of them really have anything. So, Cherry Touch Volume, this is the, how do I say this? This is the seduction thing, isn't it? Wait. Stoic. Okay, so that's my numbers novel. It's a stoic. I am sleep. This is innocent. Okay. A story for a young woman who learns the art of charming men. Okay. I suppose this is just ecchi. I suppose. Why there's like a thing to her boobs? Is this an anime character? Or is this like a manga? This is a novel or it's a manga? I'm actually curious because they kind of have the same art style as the rest of the game. I'm assuming it's manga, but not sure. Bonus when socializing with male students. All of this give the same, yeah, give the same. Okay. Bonus when gossiping with male students. Why are all of them selecting one of the girl's boobs? A story about a young woman who learns the art of seducing men. Sure. A story about a young woman who learns the art of manipulating men. Sure, I suppose. Less reputation lost from male students. Sure. Story about a young woman who learns the art of controlling men. Male student will prefer favors for you even without being friends with you. A story about a young woman who learns the art of charming, seducing, manipulating, and controlling other females. So this is Yuri, isn't it? This is just Yuri. Okay. He's going to sleep. It's Thursday and finally we're getting to the panties. Oh, I didn't give my actual opinion on, like, I'm just so tired. I'm sorry. I didn't give my opinion on the manga. Overall, the mangas are just lazy. I'm going to be honest, the mangas are lazy. Wait, why do you have a dead note, a life note poster if this girl doesn't care about anything? Okay, regardless. Yeah, the mangas are just lazy. I can think of a lot of descriptions a game developer and director and writer, because Yandere is also the writer, could add as like hints for elimination methods and all that stuff, even if it's not about that, because I know that's about like losing the sanity and all that stuff, but you could always add those little details that enrich the game experience. Recently I watched a video about leitmotifs in music and how that can translate into emotions feeling through the music. And leitmotifs are not only applied in music production, they can also be in writing, they can also apply in art. I don't know if that has a proper name besides leitmotif, since I think that it most applies to music. However, you can have little details referencing other parts of the story in art, in music, in writing too. Those are small references, and it's not like Yandere has never used them. For example, in the Wednesday, okay. In the Wednesday morning thing, you have a conversation between Taro Yamada and Osana Najimi, where Osana says about a dream where she's drawn and all that stuff. First of all, the dream thing is kind of late, I'm going to admit it. But if you have that, and that means something, you could just have that for manga too. There's so many little things. Like, Yandere clearly likes the small details, but he completely makes small details that overall don't matter all that much more important than the small details that actually matter. Again, the manga could have been something. It could have just be something, you know? A freaking Jambania game seems to make more sense to the lore in the Basu sisters than manga for some reason. Why is a game more important than manga? Why is Mizuki Magical Girl more important than actually having a reason for the suitor to be crushed on Osana besides just physical appearance? It's just... How can you be so detailed in some stuff while completely ignoring others? That's just something I don't quite get. So, I suppose it just comes to show the preferences, the clear preferences the game developer has over certain aspects of the game. And it's those small details that really tell you how much the director really cares into the story outside of just small details of it. You know? It's just something it's just what I think about the whole manga thing. Now we're going to the actual part of the video everyone wanted to see. So let's give my opinions on the panties! Okay. Plain white panties. I don't think they're plain if you have little ribbons. That's actually kind of unique to them. But otherwise, only a boring girl would wear such plain panties, no bonuses. I don't think it's a thing about being boring. I think it's just about being comfortable. But whatever. Nani? You're still wearing animal panties at your age. Has Yandere never worn a SpongeBob's underwear? I thought it was a common thing for men to just wear very stupid underwear for no reason at all. Why are you criticizing this? Men do the same. You cannot hide that fact from me, guys. You cannot. I know that. Okay. Less reputation penalty when performing yandere actions. What are yandere actions? What? What are yandere actions? Okay. Pink is the color of compassion, nurturing, and love. I thought that was blue, but maybe I just don't know my color theory as much as I did. Bonus when convincing two students to fall in love. Sure, they look nice. A girl who wears these panties must be sweet, just like strawberries. Strawberries are acid to me, but whatever. What? Okay, so PinkCat is here with me. You have anything to say?
This is problem.
Okay.
This is the problem.
This is the problem.
Yandere Simulator game.
Okay, bonus when socializing with students. Whatever. Black is the color of mystery, secrecy, and evil. So it didn't have a smaller range of sight. I could have sworn these have different descriptions in other builds, but maybe it's just me. Wait, holy shit, I realized they have names. Wait. So these are plain white panties. Cute kitty panties. Okay, that's... I mean, it's true, but it's just a weird way to say it. Girly pink panties. I suppose you mean it's girly because it's pink, but I think any girl panties are going to be girly because they're for girls. Sweet strawberry panties. Sure. Stealthy black panties. How the fuck are black panties stealthy? Okay. What? This panties will make you invisible. Okay. Speedy sporty spats. We already read this once. No. Okay. Kawaii moe shimapan. Shimapan is like a type of panty, right? I'm guessing it's a type of panty because kawaii is cute. Moe is also kind of cute. Why do you have kawaii and moe together? They're, to my understanding, it might be ignorance, but to my understanding, those words are kind of similar. They're both like very cutesy. Shimapan, I'm supposing, is the kind of panty. The reason these are so popular is because the stripes show off the curves of a girl's butt. Bonus when apologizing. So you show them their butt, and that way you're apologizing better, I'm supposing. These were added back when the minor, where the characters were still underage, right? Low leg panties. How do these even work? They look like they could slip off at any moment. Why do you care? Why do you care? Extra study points during class. How is a panty that's about to fall from you is going to help you study? If anything, it's just going to make you feel more distracted. Sure, why not? Lewd, lazy. Lewd. Fucking lewd. Oh, fucking course. Of course. You know what? Of course. Of course it's lewd. They're not even that lewd. I'm Latina. I've seen worse than this. A student has no business wearing panties like this. They look very normal to me. They're not even that lewd. They just look like someone ripped them. Like, they just look like they got ripped apart because, you know, they just happen to rip them apart sometimes. And you try to sew them back together, but they didn't quite fit, so you just did it around your body because you gained weight. Like, they look like they've been ripped off because you gained weight, and you're trying to seal them off, but instead you just leave a little bit of like string in there, just so you know they can expand a little. That's what they look like. By the way, totally didn't happen to me. Totally. leave less bloody footprints. That's. You know, I should run. Skimpy sexy panties. Those are just black panties. What? This just looks like Walmart panties. They look like Walmart panties. What do you mean the skimpy sexy panty? These panties are for the bedroom, not for school. Why would you say this about a character that was underage back in the day? I mean, she still is, but he claims that it's not. Bonus when gossiping about other students. I will say, they look comfortable. They do look comfortable, so maybe they are for a bedroom because they look comfortable. Tiny chunk panties. Senpai could never love a girl who wears such lewd underwear. Okay, I can buy you that this is lewd. I can absolutely buy you that this is lewd. I thought every boy in school bought panty shots from Info-chan. How would senpai not like a girl who wears these? Whatever. Sanity meter will decrease lower. How? Why? I mean, I know that they're supposed to be funny, but they're just weird. They're not funny and they don't make sense. Old-fashioned fundoshi. Old-fashioned. I'm supposing the name of this pant is fundoshi. Okay. Underwear for old-fashioned girls. Seriously, old-fashioned girls. Pools of blood are smaller. Okay, so what do I think of this? Let's review the bonuses one by one. Less repetition penalty when performing yandere action. This doesn't make sense. Because what's a yandere action? If anything, yandere would even make more sense, which would mostly relate to sanity. But then again, you have bonus points for apologizing, so what would be the point of having a panty that is about, you know, you doing yandere actions when other panties already cover some of the yandere actions, which are like being creepy? This is bonus for apologizing. So what's the difference between a kawaii moe shima pan to a cute kitty panties? What's the difference? Because I don't know what a yandere action is. A yandere action, right? Bonus when convincing two students to fall in love. You can only do this with rivals, so this panty is almost useless. Bonus when socializing. This could be useful if it wasn't because the cooking club already makes your reputation go up anyways. Students have a smaller range of sight. This is actually kind of good. Faster run speed. I didn't notice the difference between today's running speed and this panty's running speed, so I don't know how much it adds. A percentage could be appreciated to know exactly how fast I am going with this ones. I do think that could work, mostly because in the manga we do have a percentage for how little your sanity is decreasing. For example, in the creepy mangas you have a 10% sanity reduce, so your sanity can only go as down as 10, then 20 and all that stuff. These don't tell me how fast I can run, so they only tell you faster run speed, but you don't have a percentage, you don't have anything, you pretty much have to guess, and at least to me I didn't feel the difference, so I'd say mostly useless. Bonus when apologizing. Again, this could enter into yandere actions which would make the other panties pretty much useless. Extra study points during class. I could see them being useful, but at the same time, I don't think they would be that useful unless you're searching for a specific elimination method. And yet again, almost every elimination method you can do it very easily with the first level of one of the 5 categories, so I don't think these are that necessary if you can get pretty much one entire thing completed with 2 days of school. Not only this, but if you want something very specific like chemistry and all that stuff, you can join the gaming club, and the gaming club gives you a temporary boost in one of your stats. In that case, I don't see how these ones could be useful, since you can get the buff from the gaming club, but you can also just work your way to make another permanent buff, so I don't think these ones are very useful. For now, the ones that seem the most useful to me are the stealthy black panties, but yet again, the cult club does the exact same thing, so you're pretty much just choosing this. I suppose it could work if you don't want to join a cult club, and this could work if you don't want to join the gaming club, but honestly the gaming club is a must-have for almost every run, so it would pretty much make these ones the most reliable, because you can have the cult club benefit without joining the cult club, meaning the cult club with these panties is pretty much useless. Leave less bloody footprints. It's annoying, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest, and the game tells you when you have blood around, so yeah. Bonus when gossiping about other students. I don't know if that counts as a yandere action, because what's a yandere action? Gossiping could lead to bullying and could lead to suicide, so how is gossiping not a yandere action? If anything, it could be the most yandere action in real life. That's just how jealousy works in real life. So again, it comes to this not being very specific, but I suppose it could work if you're benefiting from it. So I guess you lose either less penalty points, or you just make the rival be a lot, lose a lot more points, not what I'm saying. Sanity meter will decrease slower. This one and this one are useless if you join the cult club, so I don't know what to tell you. These are just useless if you join the cult club. Pool bloods are smaller. You could have just had this with this, because both of these are blood and both of them are annoying, so it's not worth it, because both of them are just annoying, and they don't even remove the footprints. They just make them smaller or have less, which makes both of these would probably go better together, but as separate they don't work at all. So the models overall are fine. They look like panties, so I guess they got that right. So they are mostly unbalanced. I do think this is the best one, but hard to tell. They are mostly unbalanced, and I still don't know what this is supposed to be. I'd say that's all I really have to say about the panties and the mangas. The mangas were weirdly more descriptive, and seduction is a very useful thing. So I'd say, well, first of all, the descriptions are very fucking not good, but the bonuses they give you are very unbalanced. So yeah, they seem to mostly rely on a lot of the stuff that both the gaming club and the cult club give you, especially the cult club. The only other club I can think that maybe could give a similar benefit would be the science club, because they have this robot that cleans up blood. So that would make the panties be very useless. This game has a lot of stuff that overall just clashes with other stuff from previous to new builds. That's the problem that you get when you don't have a clear plan for what you want your game to be. that's why a lot of things such as game bibles and overall planification is very important at the early stages of game development. Even if this game was planned to come out in 1 year or so, I do think the clubs were planned from the beginning. And that means that you needed to think about this stuff clearly and not just add it for the sake of it. These panties are pretty much outdated. And the sports thing, you can just get it by just joining the sports club or just getting better at your physical stats. So they are not very well implemented, mostly in the balancing aspect. And then we have the obvious, which is like the descriptions. They are gross, but I think that's just not even worth mentioning because we all know it's gross. These have been here since the very first video of Yandere Simulator. They have always been here, so I don't know what to say anymore. They're just a non-feature at this point. They don't do much, and they are overshadowed by everything else in the balancing aspect. So I think that's all I really have to say. I'm going to charge my Xbox controller. I've been coughing a little bit, but I will probably try to cut it out. So yeah, I think that's all for today's recording. I'm going to go out. I do want this to be a smaller video. I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm actually going to see right now what's going to last. Actually, you can exit the game with escape in the computer, but you cannot exit the game through the Xbox controller. What do you mean I've been fucking recording for an hour? Of course the panty thing takes an hour to record. Why did I thought it would be any different? If you want to take anything out of this, it's just to plan your stuff before you do it. It's not even because it's gross anymore, it's just very imbalanced. We all know it's gross. But I think you can forgive that depending on the game. If it's well implemented, and it's not well implemented, so you don't even get either of those points. It's not funny for being funny, it's not gross for being gross, it's not implemented because it makes sense. It's just there. And it doesn't even collide with the current personality of the game, because the game is now trying to be serious, be taking itself seriously. It has a few jokes every now and then, but those jokes are not funny. The jokes are not funny. The funny names are not funny, they're just weird. And I've actually been I've been working on this video about the Japanese differences with the game. And Japanese people have actually found, like the guy that I'm making the video about, he already told me a few things that he found very distasteful about some elimination methods, so yeah. I hope you guys are expecting the video, and I hope you subscribe, you give a like, and all of that stuff. See you in the next one, hopefully when my voice doesn't feel like it's about to crack. And see ya!